Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar on GeoSLAM Volumes, Stockpile Measurements Made Easy. I hope you can all hear myself, see my screen, and see the slides. I'd just like to say thank you all very much for joining this webinar, and I'm looking forward to sharing a bit about the GeoSLAM Volumes solution with you. Firstly, a little bit about myself. My name's Matt Haslam. I'm an applications engineer at GeoSLAM, and I specialize in the mining sector, specifically in process monitoring, and I've got a background in GIS and surveying. I'm going to be taking some questions at the end of the webinar, so please feel free to post them in the chat as we go, just so you don't forget. I think we'll have about 15 minutes to answer some questions at the end. So if we don't have time to answer them all, then please feel free to drop me an email, or we'll try and get back to you in person. If you think of any questions after the session, after the webinar, then send an email to matthew.haslam@geoslam.com or info@geoslam.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Any further questions, then yeah, just keep us posted. We'll record the session as well and send that out at the end of the session. So if there's anyone in your team that can't join the session, or you'd like to share the webinar, then that will be possible with the recording. So the agenda for today, we're going to be talking about GeoSLAM itself for anyone that's new to GeoSLAM solutions. We're going to be talking about why volumetric survey is important, what is GeoSLAM Volumes, the uses of GeoSLAM Volumes, some of our key features, workflow from data capture all the way through to the end of processing, to data output to look at our volume and tonnage results. And then we'll have a 15-minute Q&A session at the end of the session, where hopefully I can answer all of your questions, but if not, send an email through. So for those of you who are new to GeoSLAM, GeoSLAM are market leaders in Go Anywhere mobile mapping LiDAR technology. We specialize in GPS-deprived environments, such as indoor and underground environments, but we strive to produce efficient, simple, and automated solutions to the end customers to allow them to apply informed business decisions on their assets. So users of GeoSLAM solutions will receive fast and accurate data. Anyone in the operation can operate the systems. One of our main aims is to ensure that our solutions are super easy to use, both in data capture and in the processing of the data. Finally, the data that is captured by the users can then be further analyzed in one of the GeoSLAM analytics packages, software packages, or exported into third-party software for further analysis and integrated into your existing workflows. So we know that stockpiles are challenging environments. So we want to ensure that our products are durable and made for these hazardous locations. In addition to this, we want to ensure that they are fast, efficient, and easy to use, so you spend the least time possible on site, increasing safety and reducing downtime and inefficiencies. One of the main benefits of GeoSLAM is that it can be used anytime, anywhere, whether that's in a GPS-deprived environment or underground in an environment without light. Due to these vast array of benefits, we've built up a strong client base in the sector to make their workflows as efficient and effective as possible. So let's get into a bit about GeoSLAM Volumes itself. Well, why do we need volumetric survey? Well, there's 4 current pressing reasons. Firstly, more and more sites are looking towards detailed, granular data, and this is becoming increasingly important for site management. Secondly, the scrutiny on the traditional volumetric processes is increasing. Thirdly, the need for smarter sites where more data is used to assess performance. And finally, highly accurate and repeatable monitoring reduces inefficiencies and downtime. As we are fully aware, there are plenty of alternate solutions on the market, whether that be photogrammetry, GPS, terrestrial laser scanning systems, and they all have their benefits, whether that's highly accurate or faster collect or readily available around the site. But none of these solutions will be able to compete with the speed and efficiency of a mobile laser scanning system. Firstly, in terms of capture time, and secondly, in terms of the automated processing and limited desk processing time. So what is GeoSLAM Volumes? Well, Volumes is our volume and tonnage calculation package that allows users to easily monitor and manage their stockpiles using GeoSLAM LiDAR technology. Once set up, the user can simply walk around their stockpile or attach their ZEB LiDAR system to a drone and fly around their stockpile to easily capture that data. Once that data has been captured, the user can bring the data off the scanner onto their PC, and the GeoSLAM software package using GeoSLAM Connect and GeoSLAM Volumes will do the rest. It's an automated process from start to finish without the need for any user input. The user will be provided at the end of the workflow with a tabular and graphical view of their volume and tonnage calculations, and this will allow stakeholders to easily make informed decisions on their stockpile asset. I think we just posted a link as well to our webpage on GeoSLAM Volumes, where we've got some further information, a product sheet, and some case studies as well. So feel free to have a look at that now or at a later date and find out a bit more about the package. Hopefully a lot of that information will be covered in the rest of the presentation. So where can I use GeoSLAM Volumes? Well, the whole stockpile pipeline can really benefit from GeoSLAM Volumes, right the way from production stockpiles, all the way through the plant, all the way to port. We're going to put a poll up as well in the webinar where you can identify where you feel you would use or are using GeoSLAM Volumes, whether that's at the production stage or at stockyard stage, excuse me. So please feel free to answer the poll, and I'd be interested to see your results. It's very important to note that GeoSLAM Volumes is not just an exclusive product for mining and raw materials, but can be used for any asset management, whether that's agriculture or a mill, or whether that's salt storage for the winter in snowy environments. There's a wide array for GeoSLAM Volumes and this package that we offer, and it's not just mining focused. So how does the GeoSLAM Volumes workflow run? Well, there's 4 steps to the GeoSLAM Volumes workflow. The first step is to capture the data, and this can be done simply and easily by capturing with your handheld laser scanner or by flying with a drone over your stockpile to capture the environment as you scan. The second step is to process the data. Processing is done in our package GeoSLAM Connect, which will process, align, clean and filter the data, and then place that in a listening folder to supply GeoSLAM Volumes with the data needed to then view the data. So the third step is viewing the data in GeoSLAM Volumes, where we can view a graphical and tabular report on our stockpile and tonnage results, and be able to track our volume and tonnage over time. Finally, with this data, you can export from volumes a CSV of your results and use that in a third-party system such as a SCADA business management system, or you can simply use the graphical and reporting function in volumes to monitor and manage your stockpile over time. So we're going to have a look now at each of these steps individually. We'll start with capture and then work all our way through to create. So to capture your volume stockpile data, we have three GeoSLAM hardware solutions. The first is the ZebGo, which is the most affordable solution. The ZebGo captures 43,000 points per second and operates at a range of 30 meters. The next solution that we have on offer is the Revo RT. Now, RT stands for real time. So as you're scanning, you are able to view your results and process point cloud in real time to ensure that you capture the whole environment and you do not miss any areas. This will also allow you to build rapidly a 3D model on the go. The third and most effective solution, I believe, for volumes is the Zeb Horizon, which we claim as the ultimate mapping tool. It's the most flexible scanner and offers an array of attachments to be able to fit the scanner head to a drone, to a vehicle, or just as a handheld system, so you can map effectively in the environment, whether that's over large stockpiles requiring a drone flight, or even indoors, just walking with your Zeb Horizon. The Zeb Horizon captures 300,000 points per second and has an operating range of 100 meters. So now we know how we can capture the data. We're going to have a look at how we can process the data. The GeoSLAM package will come with GeoSLAM Connect, which is used to automatically process your data in minutes. Some of the key functions of Connect is that it is powered by our industry-leading SLAM algorithm called GeoSLAM Beam. This SLAM algorithm, alongside data visualization, as well as automated filtering tools, processing tools, and custom workflows, will allow users to easily process their data and export that data ready for the next part of the workflow. In this instance, that next part of the workflow will be processing the data automatically and then automatically sending that to GeoSLAM Volumes to be able to view and assess the volume and tonnage data. Firstly, though, we'll have a look at some of the additional key features in GeoSLAM Connect. We've got a point cloud measuring tool, which measures the distance between individual points within the point cloud, and this comes as standard with all Connect packages. We then have a SLAM environments presets that come as standard, and they allow users to effectively process their data captured, whether that be in an underground environment, whether that be captured with a UAV, captured with a vehicle, outdoors in large open spaces. These presets really aid the ease and ability of processing your data effectively. We also have the ability to georeference in GeoSLAM Connect using stop-and-go georeferencing. So known control points that are situated throughout the environment can be captured by stopping the system on those known coordinates. When this data is then processed, the SLAM is automatically processed, and you can have a rigid or non-rigid georeferencing on that data to export to real-world coordinates. Similarly, we've also got stop-and-go alignment, which is used for aligning 2 point clouds that overlay in an environment. So whether you capture a stockpile with a set array of known locations around the stockpile, you can stop the scanner at those locations, and then when you next capture on that site, stopping the scanner on the same locations again, you can easily align those 2 point clouds together. So you do not need any further registration for stop and go alignment. GeoSLAM Connect also has a range of filtering tools for users to get the best results from their data. These include noise filters, surface filters, transient point filters, to make the data as clean as possible and give the user the best possible output. These can be run with your standard workflows, post-processing, or on your outputted results. So there's some real flexibility on whether you want to filter your data and to what extent you'd like to filter your data. Finally, we've got a new feature called cloud-to-cloud alignment, which aligns 2 point clouds that are already in the same local coordinate system to be able to orientate the 2 point clouds together so they overlay one another. So all Connect packages come with our industry-leading SLAM, GeoSLAM Beam, and this ensures that all of our hardware captures produce survey-grade results from GeoSLAM Connect using our SLAM algorithm. So now we've learned how to capture the data, we've learned how to process the data in GeoSLAM Connect. We're now going to look at how to view the data in GeoSLAM Volumes. So GeoSLAM Connect will process and place the processed data automatically in a GeoSLAM Volumes folder, which can be listened to. So within minutes and without the need for any user input, the operator can have a processed point cloud ready for volumetric calculations to be undertaken minutes after capture. So some of the key features of GeoSLAM Volumes are that it's highly automated. So at the moment, you can see here we have a point cloud in a warehouse. Sorry, we have a stockpile in a warehouse, and we have an array of automated filters that are able to remove any infrastructure in that environment and return only the stockpile surface. So there's no need for cropping out unwanted areas. This is all done automatically, so a user can simply import their point cloud from Connect, which is done automatically. And this workflow will run, we just run that video again, so we can remove any unwanted points. Also automated all the tonnage conversions and alarming systems. So we've implemented an automated alarming process whereby key stakeholders will be notified if the stockpile volume or tonnage values exceed preset maximum and minimum values. So the stakeholders can be notified immediately if the values exceed those preset boundaries. So the operator doesn't even have to go into volumes and check their volume or check their tonnage. They will just have an email automatically sent to them. Likewise, after every scan, you can have an email automatically sent to key stakeholders of the current volume and tonnage of your stockpiles. You can have multiple stockpiles in a in a scan. You can set these by boundary. So whether you've got 15 separate bins in a scan, all with different materials, then you can set these up and still capture and process with just one scan. And each bin can have a different material with a different specific gravity, cut factor, bulk factor, and and that can all be applied and calculations done automatically within GeoSLAM Volumes. Finally, as already mentioned, the data listener, which is such a great feature, means that you can just always have volumes running, never even need to open the software itself, and the volumes will do all of the work for you. Pick the data up from Connect, process it, calculate your volume and tonnage result, and just send you an email of the results. So a fully automated system. We're now going to have a quick look at the GeoSLAM Volumes output. So we output in a tabular format and a graphical format. The tabular format, where you can view things like net tonnage, net volume, cut factor, fill factor. You can view by stockpile, and you can view by date as well. And all of this can be exported to CSV as well, so you can implement this into your current management system, whether that's a SCADA system or another management system. I guess existing customers that may not have seen the latest release yet. So the interface has changed, as you can probably tell from this image. In this image, we've got a graphical output showing absolute tonnage over time. And yeah, the eagle-eyed amongst you will know that we've had a big improvement in the UI. So the software is looking really neat at the moment. We've also had some improvements on workflow and increased automation. So hopefully we'll get a link posted in the chat with a new GeoSLAM Volumes release with all these great improvements. So if you're an existing Volumes customer, click on that link, download now, get the latest Volumes package with all of our fantastic improvements. So hopefully that's a brief summary of the workflow itself. It's quite hard to visualize these over slides, I always find. So what I'm going to do now is run through a demo of the workflow from post-capture. So once you've got your data captured, whether that be with your handheld system or with your drone, we'll then look at how you process that data in GeoSLAM Connect, feed that into Volumes, and have a look at your results. So I'm just going to share a screen. 1 second. Hopefully you can all see this video coming up now. So this is GeoSLAM Connect, and we'll imagine this as the first time that a Volumes project is being created. So we're going to create a new project here, input our project name, and select our project workflow. We're just going to use the Volumes workflow here and select Create Project to get started. We're then going to input our data that we've just captured from our stockpile. We might have a previously captured scan to align the new data to. So we'll input the previous capture and the new capture, select our Volumes project folder, so the output that we want the data to go to. So GeoSLAM Volumes will automatically pull that data from the output folder. Here we can see the data is just being processed. We can load that point cloud now and have a look at the output from a Z Horizon scanner actually. So here you can see quite a large environment. We've got quite a lot of infrastructure. We have a fairly large warehouse there with a stockpile inside that warehouse. So if I just take the roof off the warehouse now, we'll have a look at what the stockpile actually looks like. And this is all we're really worried about. You know, we're not worried about any of the infrastructure. We just want this stockpile information and to find out the changes in volume and tonnage of this stockpile. So now we've exported into GeoSLAM Volumes. we have a project set up, and GeoSLAM Volumes will automatically look and listen for this data. And when this data is imported and opened up in GeoSLAM Volumes, you'll be able to see that all of that infrastructure is removed, and we're left with just the stockpile surface, and that any unwanted infrastructure or noise has been removed, so we're getting an accurate and effective volume calculation. You can see here that we've just had an increase in volume, and then the third scan, 1 week later, we've got a significant decrease in volume. Now, having a look at the data table here, you can see you can view by boundary, date, cut factor, fill, net volume, difference. So you've got absolute and then delta as well. You can select what boundaries you'd like to view, so you can have multiple boundaries in each stockpile, as previously mentioned. So here we'll just have a look at the whole stockpile extent and have a look at the graph. So we're here showing absolute volume over time. You can see we had a increase in volume and then a significant decrease in volume. You can then view that by delta and see your change in tonnage. So really simple, really effective graphing tool, and that can be done for each of your stockpiles, all done within one scan, within one capture, and automatically processed. So super easy to use, really effective. From here, we can then generate a report that can be branded with your own company logo. And on your report, we can have a look at boundary area, net volume, net tonnage, if you define specific gravities. So from there, you can then implement that, distribute that to key stakeholders, or as previously mentioned, export your tabular data into CSV for a further management assessment. So I just swap back to the presentation. If you just bear with me 1 second. I hope you can all see the screen. Perfect. So with that, we will provide some training information as well. We have a web page outlining with step-by-step videos how to create a project and get you started with GeoSLAM Volumes. So here's the link. I can just see it being posted now on the webinar. So feel free to have a look at that, have a look at the training materials. If you're not a My GeoSLAM account member, then you may have to create an account first before getting access to GeoSLAM Academy, which contains all of our training materials. On GeoSLAM Academy, we don't just have volumes training materials, but materials for all of our software and hardware products. So from the quick demo and the slides, I hope you can see that users can quickly and simply make informed decisions on managing their stockpile asset with minimal desk processing time and super fast capture time. It all links back to GeoSLAM's core business principles of supplying speedy, simple, solution-focused, autonomous solutions to our end customer to help them make the informed decision. With this, we sold over 2,000 units globally, that's ZEB units, and operate on a full global scale with 10 offices around the world. We have 90 distributors that operate out of 59 countries. So if you need any further info, I'm sure there'll be someone local to you that's ready to help out. If not, contact info@geoslam.com, or if it's a volume specific questions, please feel free to drop me an email at matthew.haslam@geoslam.com. And there are links to our socials as well, so make sure you give us a follow on those and keep up to date with any further webinars that will be coming out soon. I think we've got quite a few in the pipeline, which is great. So we also have a trade-in offer at the moment. So any scanning device that you have, it doesn't have to be a GeoSLAM product, just a SLAM or LiDAR scanning device, if you trade that in, if it's old, scratch, doesn't matter, we can take £10,000 off a ZEB product and really set you on your way to becoming a new GeoSLAM user. We also have a demo in the box package. If you've never tried out any of our GeoSLAM solutions before, you can apply for the demo in the box solution, which will have everything that you need to get you up and running. That will also include the hardware, software, and some training materials as well to ensure you have a smooth transition into GeoSLAM and make sure that GeoSLAM is the right solution for you. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. And I'm sure you'll be able to keep an eye out for some more webinars coming soon. I'll now give it a minute, wait for you to have any questions, and hopefully answer those in 1 minute's time. So please feel free to post your questions now. I'll have a look at those, and hopefully we can get through as many as possible. Thanks for joining. So a few questions have come in. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting to grips with the Demio question settings. Someone asked, can you send the presentation to us after the session? Yes, of course. A presentation will be sent out to everyone that's signed up to the session. So don't worry, you'll get your hands on the presentation. Another question we have here, can the GeoSLAM drone work in underground? Yes, it can work underground. We've also just had joined a partnership with Flyability, who are a inspection drone manufacturing company out in Switzerland, and they specialize in drone scanning in hazardous environments. So for an underground drone solution, the Flyability Elios 3, which comes with a laser scanning system and can be integrated into volumes, may be a more effective package than the DJI Matrix, which is mostly used for outdoor environments, although it can be used underground in a big stope. So if we have a big heap or pile, how can we measure it without a drone or pole? So a lot of these large stockpiles in warehouses have a gangway walking above the stockpile. So the GeoSLAM solution, especially with the ZEB Horizon, you're capturing so many points that you can simply place the ZEB Horizon over the gangway and capture any data beneath you. So it's a really effective way if you do have a very large stockpile of capturing your data from above. Alternatively, as mentioned, yes, if you have the facilities to implement a drone or a pole, then these would also be good options. Just having a look for some more questions. How can we measure heaps of different density? So in GeoSLAM Volumes, you can enter specific material densities for each stockpile. So that can be custom input by the user, whether that's cut density, fill density, specific gravities, and you can apply each boundary with its own density. So you could have multiple stockpiles within your scan environment, each with a separate density, and still produce a tabular output with the values, density values and volume and tonnage values produced effectively and calculated effectively with their separate densities. So it's a really neat feature that we've got, and yeah, it's a massive benefit, especially for those with multiple stockpiles with different densities in each stockpile due to a different asset being in that stockpile. Can we adjust the resolution of the survey? I believe what you mean by this in the terms of decimating the data. So in GeoSLAM Connect, if you're working in a large environment with lots of points, maybe you're capturing 100 million points, which will take some time to process, then in GeoSLAM Connect, you can decimate your data to reduce the value of that point cloud, reduce the number of points in that point cloud, which will drastically increase processing time. So you can decimate to a centimeter or something like that if you're working with volumes. And that will drastically reduce the number of points that are in your scan, and in turn increase the processing time. Sorry, just trying to identify some more questions. Will the workflow allow to scan voids instead of stockpiles? So we'll measure for both cut and fill. If there are any gaps in the data, then these can be interpolated. I'm not exactly 100% certain on voids. So drop us an email and we'll have a look at this and get back to you with a complete answer for that. So AC said that he had a scanner from GeoSLAM, but they couldn't georeference. So if you have known coordinates in your environment on your site, then as you scan or capture your environment, all you need to do is place the scanner on the known coordinate. The scanner's got a known offset from its base plate. So if you capture 4 known coordinates as you are walking around capturing your stockpile, then when you come back to process your data, you'd input your target known coordinate file and then your scan data, and the data will be rigidly or non-rigidly aligned to those coordinates. So it's a really neat and really simple solution, and definitely a benefit for GeoSLAM Volumes, as is the stop and go alignment for aligning 2-point clouds, which can be done locally without the need for real world coordinates. So the 2 scans can be aligned by simply just placing the scanner on the same location every time you capture that scan. There's no need for a real world adjustment. So we've got some great filters that help the products work effectively if it's dusting or if there is some light rain. So our transient point filter, as well as statistical outlier filters and noise filters, will remove any of those unwanted flyer points that are captured from a dusty environment or from a rainy environment. So dust is absolutely no issue. You can capture all you like, and running GeoSLAM Connect with some of these advanced filters will be able to remove any of those unwanted points and leave just the stockpile surface or infrastructure surface. So I hope that answers your question. Question here from AC, do you know of any mines using GeoSLAM on open pit and underground as well? Yes, we've got lots of contacts at AC. I see you've asked us to put you in contact with them. So we will get in touch and provide some info to yourself. So the flyability system question here, is flyability adjust its location automatically in underground, or does a person need to handle it? So the flyability system is bringing out autonomous flying. However, currently it does need a pilot to fly the system. So a pilot is still required. However, there are automated flight avoidance algorithms that are implemented on the Helios 3 to ensure that the Helios 3 stays in the air and doesn't hit anything in confined, harsh, and rugged environments where you wouldn't normally think to put a drone. Can we export in DXF and use it in 3D software? Yes, using our GeoSLAM draw package, you can export in DXF, and put this model into any of your CAD software packages or similar. Just see if we've got a couple more questions come in. What is the accuracy between the point clouds? So accuracy and precision are to 8 mil to 1 sigma. So highly accurate survey grade point clouds. Probably far more than you'd ever need for volume calculations, which is great. So there's definitely never going to be any question on whether that's accurate enough or whether it's to a highest level of precision, because we're very confident in the accuracy of the system, and we know that goes far and above other methods that are currently used for volume calculations. So yeah, accuracy is definitely a top priority for us, and I think we far succeed that with our volume solution. So I think that's 10:45 now. Really, thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session. It's been great, thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you've all learned a bit about the GeoSLAM volume solution. Please feel free to get in touch at matthew.haslam@geoslam.com if you've got any further questions, or info@geoslam.com as well. We'd be happy to answer any of those. We've got another session at 3 o'clock today covering the same topics. So if any of your colleagues or you know anyone that would be interested in the session, then please feel free to send them the invite link, so we can get as many people on as possible learning about our GeoSLAM volume solution and help you make informed decisions about your asset. So once again, thank you very much, and have a great day. Cheers.